Welcome to the Way Forward podcast, where we talk about anything and everything AI. So, my name is Dennis, and I help small businesses integrate AI and automation into their systems. Max?
Hey, my name is Max, and I am running into the cybersecurity battle while everyone else is running out and learning to use my sword and my shield on the way in. Michael.
Yep, my name is Michael. I call myself an AI enthusiast. So that pretty much means looking forward to the future, looking forward to the singularity, I'm looking forward to a time whereby, we're exploring the stars, we are, post-abundance, we are living to 200, 300 years old. And I definitely just believe that technology and the AI and all forms of technology makes life better, and our future is going to be better than our current or our past experiences.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think the idea of the future is, I think we get complacent and we just like generalize humanity is like we don't realize how good we have it. Like life's pretty good right
Yeah.
now, and I agree that I'm an enthusiast as well. I'm a parent, and as they say, as a parent, you got to be an optimist. So I think, there might be some bumps along the way, but I agree that we're going to a brighter future. Um, so I want to talk to you guys about my Hermes agent. So I had the first iteration of it. And this was, so I did OpenClaw before, if y'all remember, and it was a runaway thing. Like I thought I had turned it off, and turns out it was still sending emails to people. Um, but now, so I got a Hermes agent, and I like to name things. And so the purpose of this agent is um, to send out, to create demos for businesses as a cold outreach. And so it's going to eventually scrape a certain kind of business and then pull that business into it, build a thing, and then cold email it. So I'm not all the way formed yet, but what it has done is so I call him Geppetto because he makes things. And
Yeah.
Geppetto is Pinocchio, right? And so he makes things. And so what he made right now, so I've taught him how to make the lead manager, which is it's a system to manage leads. Well, amazing. But it uses Telegram so people can. So the thing about CRMs, and I'm not. Everybody's got a CRM, go high level, whatever. CRMs, they're useful and they work and they're a necessary part of business. But what I found in my own business, like using things and then talking to other people, is that you get a tech and like having the thing doesn't mean you use the thing. And I think a lot of people, myself included, I turn on Go High Level and, talk about my leads, and I'm just like, okay, I get overwhelmed. I might do it once a day, I might want, for a day or two, and then I drop it. And so this is primarily that interacts through Telegram through a Telegram app. So so the lead manager, you can just leave a voice note. Hey, I got a new lead. His name is, you know, Max, and he wants this, that, or the other. Follow up in 2 days. And then 2 days later, Telegram sends you a message. Hey, follow up with this person. And then there's also like a web dashboard that you can go into if you want. It's totally optional. You don't have to. But if you want to get that 30,000 foot view of your lead pipeline, conversion rates, stuff like that, that's there as well. So that's the lead manager. And yesterday, Geppetto built the first one by himself. So I said to him, "Hey, this is the name of the business. Um, Go. It's in Cleveland, Tennessee, where I'm at. Go and build it." And he did. And like I'm hard coded as to into a user to all the apps so I can test it, and it worked. And just kind of like mind blown because we've talked a bit before about agents. And I'm like, is it overblown or whatnot? And this is the first time where I was like, wow, that's something that that's truly seems agentic, like it's going out there, making decisions, and actually making something on its own.
That's pretty cool, man. So I guess how does it compare to what you had before in terms of OpenClaw? Like, what was the main difference, or what's like the main difference you're seeing right now in terms of just like the OpenClaw onboarding process and like you're doing right now with Hermes? And why did you even consider Hermes in the first place? Like, why? Like, obviously, OpenClaw didn't really work for you that much, but like, why? like did you decide, oh, I need another agentic base to work with?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is like the hype of everything I see on X about Hermes, Hermes, Hermes. So I have a cleaning business, so I follow service-based businesses and businesses that serve service-based businesses, and people are talking a lot about Hermes. So I had the kind of bug, I guess. And I think looking back, I didn't do a good job of defining what I wanted OpenClaw to do. So if I had thought a little bit more about it, it might have gone better. I mean, almost
Give me
certainly.
the key, baby. Where do I turn the key?
Yeah. Um, but Hermes, what really got me on Hermes is that like the self-improvement loop is built into Hermes. And so it's designed to get better at what it does. Whatever you decide it does, it should, I mean, if you design it well enough and in terms of like goals and criteria for determining if the goal has been met, it should just get better over time. And to me, that just seems like if that really works, that's game changing. Like to
Yeah.
have an agent, like this is what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build an agent that can work all the time, prospecting potential clients and then sending them a demo and a cold email that says, "Hey, I built this for you. Because I actually built this thing, I have architectural limits, so it's only good for 3 days. Have a look, and if you want to talk, let me know."
Oh,
And
the
like,
3 days is nice. Yeah.
yeah, right. So it's a little bit of scarcity, but it's
Yeah.
true too. Like I can't build
I
unlimited
know.
numbers of them.
It's gonna freak the shit out of people to get these. How do you not freak the shit out of people to get them,
I
but you
know.
want them to be you wanna what do you say? What do you want them to feel? You want them to be
Curious,
curious?
curious. Yeah.
Enchanted. Is enchanted possible in some way? How can you make them feel like it's enchanting?
Right. I don't know, but I got the book. You mentioned it 2 weeks ago. I got it. It's on. I just started it last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So right, so enchanted by it. Yeah, that's right. Some of that'll be framing of the email. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Um, but and then the dashboard for Hermes is pretty good. Like it's got a dashboard. You can talk to it. Which if OpenClaw had that, I didn't know about it or I didn't set it up properly, which is quite possible. But um, Hermes is seems really like better designed, more easier to access, and skills are built in already. And now like they just came out with something that allows it to apparently like its browser interaction has just gotten to next level. So what does that mean? Well, that like for a service-based business, you're caring about citations, right? Like where are you listed in directories? Well, that takes a lot of work to like just go and just do it. Well, can I build an agent that can go and build
Yeah.
citations on the like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I just want a hundred citations a month. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So from what I'm hearing, like this is just pretty much a better open claw in terms of like actually having an agent that does things for you and can actually go out there and take action and just put everything together. But like from what I was hearing about open claw, right, just based on like the way everyone talked about it on the internet, it seems like it was doing everything kind of like before Hermes came out, everyone on the internet was like open clause. Like between February and March, everyone was just open claw
Yeah.
everything. And then it kind of died down after like the acquisition by OpenAI. There was like, okay, yeah, there was a period of time where nobody was talking about it. And now
Yeah.
it's like Hermes, right? So it's like
Yeah.
for you anyways, I know I've asked this question. It's like, is it mainly just about like the improving aspect? Do you think like Hermes is also going to be an agent in the next 2 to 3 months? Everybody will be like, are we going to hop on something new?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's possible, another shiny object. But I think what I've seen, what I see, like, I can't say my own experience because I'm just starting with Hermes. Although, like, my experience of building this first lead manager with Hermes was like, I was impressed. I still have it gated, so like I have to approve certain things just to watch it the first few iterations. But I was quite impressed with how effective it got stuff done. Like, it didn't take two or three times to get it done; it just got it done. But what I gather from the people I follow on X is that Hermes seems more effective at what it does. I mean, a lot of people are building speed to lead agents with it, and it's just like it just seems to like work well, get better and better at what it's supposed to do. So, I mean, is there going to be something that's better than that? I mean, maybe. But maybe. Maybe, but maybe
Speak to lead
not.
agent, is that like in terms of like voice, text, email?
It's primarily text. It's not.
Okay.
It's not voice. Because as you guys know, we talked about it before, and play with voice agents. Like the latency really matters, and so the more resources and the more tools that an agent has, the slower it's going to be. So voice,
Yeah,
not
that
so much
makes sense.
voice, but just chat. Like, I mean, I have a friend who has another cleaning business. He's in Austin, and I mean, he basically built a speed to lead agent as an N8N workflow. And I mean, when he first did it, that was like 2 months ago, and he was like sending me screenshots of booked jobs that somebody had responded to a Google PPC ad at 10 p.m. and nobody's on, and the agent booked them
That's cool.
because it doesn't have to worry about that lag time, right? So I don't even know if like he announced it as, "Hey, I'm an agent." Does it
Yeah.
matter over text?
No,
Yeah.
no.
The Starlink, I got a chance to hear the new Starlink customer service agent, and it's good, but Bella's better.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm guessing that won't be the case in 6 months, but once it gets all the
Yeah.
data in. But
Hmm.
there's
Okay.
I
something
think
about
we're
Bella that just was special. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in the early innings of like this AI call agents and like stuff like that. Remember, I don't know if we're talking about this 2 to 3 months ago, and I'm like, dude, I'm just waiting till like we get to a point where like there's consensus, at least among the early, you know, early movers that like, dude, this is a go, oh my God, like, this can take over, boom, 95% of sales calls. I'm just waiting for that moment, which I think it's gonna be like mid 27, early-ish 27, and then we just go, boom, this is the opportunity. Just that doing outreach, everything. We're like, yo, we'll build it for you, we'll put it into your business, and like one-time fee, 10K, boom, go, boom, 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 just build all that. But that's what was going through my head. It's like, when are we at a point? Maybe this is a question for Dennis too. When are we at a point whereby, I mean, we already have text agents that are good, but like we can just maybe it's gonna be a form of an agent too. Maybe with because I was thinking more so a SaaS software that's like a voice API thingy where you can go into a dashboard. Do you think it's gonna be more of that, or is it gonna be more of an agent that we just place into a business and that agent covers everything from their CRM to their bookings to their calls to their text messages, and it just basically handles everything? Or do you think we're going to be pretty much placing like softwares into businesses that connect to their other softwares? How do you see it going?
I mean, I'm probably starting as, and this is a guess, like, so from my experience with my own business and then helping others is like, it's a gradual process to get everything ready to be able to put an agent in. Like a year ago, I couldn't just drop an agent into my data because I didn't have it centralized. I didn't have the systems built out. Now I can. And so I think for other businesses, it'll be the same. Like you gotta kind of like integrate softwares with what they got and then slowly transition to like the full agentic mode. Or I guess you could like do have as a service, you could set up the business to drop in the agent. But I think there's definitely like my experience, a lot of business owners don't know how business actually happens, or it lives entirely in their head and it's not communicated very well. There's not clear SOPs, and even when there are, they might have gaps in them and holes in them. And I think that's still going to be one of the, in my opinion, that's going to be one of the things that is going to need to be offered as a service for a while until we can get more clear on that.
Right. So if
Is
we're on that topic of that dropping an agent into someone's network, okay? So you've got a computer, you give them a computer, here's your hardware, the agent's on it, everything, you drop it in, boom, you plug it into the local area network. It will ideally go through the entire damn thing and come back to you and say, hey, I need a password for this. Boom, you give it the password. Go, it goes, right? Every damn system, you just give the passwords, it goes, it scrapes all the data, gets a copy of everything, pulls that, and then starts telling you what you're missing. Hey, and here's a daily lesson plan for you. Okay, This is
Right.
missing in your system, right? This is missing. You need to learn this. You need to follow this procedure better. You need to do this. It'll analyze everything for you, right? That will be that agent that just does it all, right?
Do you
I
think that's
mean
like on a
that's if
company?
it's even on the system, right? Some might be on a piece of paper, some might just be in the person's head.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's if it's all digitized information. If it's not digitized, then it's got to be digitized.
Right. And maybe there's like an interview process too that the agent
Yeah.
goes through to help pull it out of the owner's head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question, Dennis, on the, I don't know if it's the last, but this is my last question on the Hermes agent. What is the underlying model you connected to it to do the work?
Kimmy 2.6.
Oh, okay.
And so that's I don't know who makes it. It might be Chinese. I don't know.
Yeah,
China.
it's a open model
China.
from China.
China's got it.
But I mean, it's been compared to like Claude Opus 4.6 when it was at its prime. Is it that good? I don't know, but it seems to be good enough for what I needed to do.
Okay, and where you getting them? Where you getting the model from? Like what server? Like what?
Fireworks,
Okay,
fireworks.ai.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I use fireworks.ai for that. For a image and video, I use Kai.ai, KIE.ai.
You
So you
talked
can just
about it
plug it
last
in there.
time.
And that's nice. You give I've got the credentials on my system, and then whatever model I'm using just can go, I got to develop those skills. Go create an image, go create a video, and I
On
can just try
speak
with different models. What's
on the
that?
topic of AI models there, the Google Gemini release was a real snoozer. Everyone just fucking jeered it.
Which, wh
Really?
Michael, did you hear about this or?
Yes, I did, but I didn't think it was a snoozer, which is like an
Oh,
interesting perspective.
so from what you saw, it was like this was really interesting, or like most people said it was a bomb.
what?
I mean, it depends. They release so many things. Like it's like
So
Yeah,
many
what are we?
things.
What release are you talking about specifically?
uh it was a Google event. I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, and they just like released a whole bunch of stuff from Google Gemini 3.5 Flash.
Didn't even know about it.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Google held this event. They usually host it annually, I/O. I don't know what it stands for, but it's like a Google conference for engineers, kind of double like WWDC for Apple, which
I
is like
think IO means
worldwide.
input output, doesn't it?
Yeah, input
Yeah.
output.
I mean, it might mean something different. Oh,
Oh, maybe they got
Max, does
another
it mean
name on
something?
it. Yeah. From
Oh,
technical, it's input
Sounds
output,
perfect
but
for a tech conference.
yeah.
Google
yeah.
IO. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it was this whole conference where they usually like drop like, some of the stuff they're working on. Before AI used to be, stuff about tech and like, glasses and stuff like that. But with AI now, it's just all about AI. So they were talking about all of the things that they launched. I thought they really did a good job with like, actually like talking about how much AI has been reintegrated into like a whole bunch of services that they formerly offered. So AI is coming in a bigger way into maps. It's coming in a bigger way into YouTube.
Finally. Fuck, finally.
Yeah, I mean, it's also gonna be like the Google search homepage is, I don't know when it's coming to Canada because a lot of these things are launching in the US first, but the US, the Google homepage is gonna be a lot more like ChatGPT. So you know how ChatGPT, you can connect your files to it, you can add images, all of that fun stuff, and you can have like a whole fun text and everything. So that's kind of what they're kind of doing with like the Google search page. They also launched a new Google layout for like their Gemini app. That's something that they talked about. They also launched a new video model, Google Omni. I haven't tried it, but I've seen um a
I
bunch
tried
of
it. It's fucking awesome.
really.
Holy shit.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, that's Google Omni they dropped. I don't know what else did they talk about again. Like just the AI, like their AI push. What I enjoyed about the whole thing, like they might not be at the frontier in terms of coding or anything like that, but their AI push is so good, and I think they're dropping stuff in terms of just stuff that a lot of other normal people can interact with, which is like big on the search and YouTube and maps. Like I think Google's such an underrated company in terms of like everything they do for regular people just to make your life. Like AI is also coming into like notes. I'm not sure if you guys do you like Dennis and Max, do you guys use like the Google Workspace for your business or
I have, yeah, I do. Sometimes. Not much, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just use Gmail though. I don't really do much other than Gmail and Drive.
Okay, yeah, great. But look, like Drive is so helpful, and it's like just Drive alone will probably be like a multi-billion dollar company, but that's on the wayside. It's like Google's just doing a lot with AI to just integrate it into like in a bigger way into like their whole suite of their Google Workspace, and I think that was like the biggest thing with I/O, not mainly like the model. Like Google 3.5 Lite is like a GPT 5.4 level model, and it's like
Mhm.
super fast, super quick, super cheap for them, and it's super small too. So it's just like they're doing a lot of cool things, and that's why I thought it was a good event. But like Max
Yeah.
said, you
Yeah,
didn't think it was a good event,
yeah,
so
I
like
heard a lot of
why?
bad stuff from it, right? So from my full social media feed, everyone was knocking it, right?
Okay,
So that's the
Really?
difference in our social feeds
Right.
of who we follow, right?
Our little
One of the
bubbles.
ones I'm excited about is Grok 5. Because right now, Grok, whatever hell they're running, 4.7, 4.5, it is awesome. It is the go-to for the truth. Like it's fast, it's quick, and I use it all the time, really. But
they're currently
5
on
is going to be
4.3.
rocking. Right?
They're currently on 4.3.
Yeah, so 5 was announced a while ago.
Yeah, I mean Elon's been talking about 5, but I don't think he's gonna release it this year. That's my
I don't think
opinion,
so.
anyways.
Yeah, it
Didn't
might
he
be. You
say
might be
five was
right.
going to be AGI?
That's what he said, yeah.
That's what he said. That's right. And so based
But
on Grok, what they're at 4.3, you said?
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah.
I mean, since you've been using Grok, I'll ask you this question. How has Grok been? So, because I haven't used Grok in maybe 2 to 3 months. I think the last time I used Grok was 4.1. I've just seen their benchmarks, but like, how has your user experience been with like between Grok and GPT and Claude, basically?
Grok is just a truth seeker. That's why I use it. I use it to get the truth. I've compared it against other models, and they're all got some kind of weird biasing on top of them that the actual companies put on them. Whereas this one is not the bias. There's no
Safety.
bias. Exactly. Safety, whatever. Grok doesn't have that. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about you, Dennis? Do you agree with the?
I haven't used Grok in a minute. I did just get a subscription yesterday to try it out. And I've got it wired so I can use it the API because I want to kind of see how it fares against Codex and Claude when I'm building things.
Okay.
But I haven't gotten there yet. But in terms of like I don't know the practicalities of it and how effective it is, but what Max is saying about it being a truth seeker, I think that is an I think that is a great good thing. And I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
And like I wouldn't run it, I wouldn't benchmark it against other AIs. I wouldn't even do that because I know that's not what it's good at. That's not its
it's a
key
different purpose,
ingredient.
right?
Different
Yeah.
purpose, yeah.
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 Personally, for my use case, like I don't know about you guys, but like I'm not even sure where I'll be seeking the truth. Like I've been using a lot of AI for like, like project management, like freaking managing like my my inputs from my business I'm trying to start, like competitor research, stuff like this. Just like and for me, I've been using 4.7, that's Opus 4.7 from Claude. And it's just like that's where I'm like I don't know where Grok exactly fits in because I'm like, I mean, the truth is great, but I'm not like a fucking journalist, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. So like I'm just with Grok, I really want Elon to like, do something, but it's just with all of my use cases, I'm just finding, Claude to be kind of the thing that like kind of works for me and like has just been the thing. Like last time I used Grok was maybe early this year, last year, and it's just it is what it is, but I don't know where Grok actually fits into my life at this point, to be fair.
Mhm. I mean, I think that's similar for me is like if I'm just building something, yeah, it's not about truth or not. It's about like, hey, let's build this. But if I like want to talk or discuss a political issue or even a social issue, then I just know that if I'm trying to figure out what's true about something, that I'm just waiting for the bias from Claude or ChatGPT. It's like I can see it, and I mean, I think I have some success in put like if you push back and say, look, that's your bias, I'll point it out to you right here, so try not to do that anymore. You get some better results, but I mean, in what you're saying is that there's different use cases for these things, and I think that's exactly right.
Yeah. But I think the good news though with Elon is I don't know if you guys know, but he recently went into a purchase agreement with Cursor to buy them out for 60 billion.
I knew
and
that was in the works. I didn't know it was final, but I hope so because Grok doesn't have like a browser, like
an
a
IDE.
downloadable app to your computer, a program.
Yeah, yeah, basically. So they just launched Composer 2.5, I think sometime this week, and people are saying it's like a 4.6 level, almost 4.6 level coding model. I'm not sure if you guys have tried out. Do you guys even use Cursor or like the coding app Cursor?
Nope, never used it.
Yeah, same here.
I, I got it on my computer. I used it a little bit, but it's you get some usage and then it's $20 a month, and I was like, well, I don't need another subscription, so.
Yeah. So it's like one of the IDs that like most of like the actual software dev companies use. So it's stuff that like, a company like Apple or a company like Meta or Microsoft, like people that actually build like deployment software and Salesforce, all of these people, that's the stuff they use. So like Elon is really working with them. I hope they can actually get Elon's models to be useful for coding because at this point I feel like if you're just running like a truth engine, which is fine, it's just like that's a very different game from like running an AGI company whereby like people are going to be integrating it into a whole bunch of coding bases and all of that. It's like a very
I
different
think it's a
game.
use case thing because I think there's an argument that a truth-seeking model that's actually good at seeking truth is more important than any coding model because we're entering an age where we live with artificial intelligence and we're going to get information from it. I've seen it myself. I am just like, I just believe things now. Like I'm talking like 6 months ago, I was more skeptical. So an AI tells me something, I'm like, yeah, let me double check that or whatever. But I'm just like more believing now. And that's just because, that's just the nature of the human mind. And so I think in terms of that, like the social issues, political issues, things like that, like I think we definitely need, like as a society as a whole, we need like an objective standard of what is true or not true. I mean, on issues in which objective truth is applicable, right? Like,
Yeah, and like
you know,
I don't think we can even get that. I don't think we can get that. I think like me, I just go for data. I don't care what people say, what their issues are, what their beliefs. I just look at the data, right? I got a question and I just pounce into the data with Grok and he pulls it back and builds me graphs and all kinds of stuff. Like it's just wild, right? So I can look at
yeah,
really long-term trends in markets and whatever. I love it. Any
yeah.
question I have, any query I can possibly think of, Grok can get me the data just about. It fails maybe, I don't know, 20% of the time. Doesn't get me what I want. But
And so when you say it's seeking truth, what specific, like what example do you have of that? Like, so when I think about it, it's primarily about, well, truth for me is about like social issues or things like that. Because I think, I mean, that's just maybe my penchant, my belief system that I think those are really important. So what do you mean when you say seeking truth about what?
I can't even say this well it's on this. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
I can't actually talk about it. That's how deep the truth is. If it was recorded that I spoke about it, it would cause an extreme firestorm on the internet. It would go viral, right?
I
So I
thought
can't
that's
even
what you
talk about it.
wanted. I thought you wanted to go viral with this.
No, not with this data. I do
Now with
not.
it.
All right,
And so is
fair.
this about your, is this about your project or something else?
No, this is something else. A big, big project. Yeah. There
Okay.
are people talking about it now, online, I've found, but no one has presented this devastating data. Devastating for the past 20, 50 years.
Were you going to
It's
share it with us when we're not recording?
yeah, hey, definitely we're not recording. I'll show you if you want to see it, but once you
Yeah,
see it, you
I
can't
do.
unsee it. That's the problem. Once you see the
Yeah.
real data, your mind will be completely fucking warped after seeing it.
All right. Speaking about Grok and Elon, Elon is going public with his company, and
Ah, yeah.
SpaceX, June 12th. Do you guys have any thoughts? You want to talk about anything? Doesn't have to be
Yeah,
long.
so everyone I hear from says he is overvalued. Tesla is fucking overvalued, right? That's what everyone is saying. And so I don't know. But I think it's not about the short-term value. I think it's about the long-term gain is what he's thinking about. So
What, I mean, like he's working on humanoids, right? Tesla is humanoid robots, and
Yeah.
they're not good enough now, but how long is it going to be until they're good enough? And then it's the same with the electric cars. Like he revolutionized the industry, the electric car industry. Now he's like I mean, electric Tesla means electric car. It's like refrigerator, right? Like the proper noun of
Yeah,
the thing became what it's known as. And it's almost
exactly.
at that level. And I think if he does the same thing with robots, humanoid robots that you can actually buy for 30
Wow.
grand and put them into your house, like that's gonna be just such a monumental business.
Yeah, Dennis, I agree with your point of view. I think in the short term, you could definitely make the valuation case. But in the long term, I think if the direction of where it's going is right, then it's everything's gonna
Right.
be all right. Yeah, the reason I brought that up is because, like we obviously want to talk about AI and like smart software. It's like I was reading the prospectus, right? And something that caught my eye was basically this is what I was looking at on Reddit this morning. It's like the total addressable market for like revenue that Elon thinks we could have in like the next 10 years for AI, which is, what this podcast is about. He's talking about $22.7 trillion in annual
Point
revenue.
seven.
Yeah.
In
So
annual
22,
revenue,
yes, from AI. So that's like the total addressable market for AI in like the next, I think it's at 10 to 20 years ish. But yeah, that's like the revenue that the AI space is going to be making. What do you guys think? Is that like too
Does that
I
mind
include
blowing?
deflation of the U.S. currency, or
I
I don't know. It's just, it's
don't
like,
even know how to get my head around a number.
22.7? Did you really need the point seven in there? Come
true,
on, people. That's 10 years away. Three decimal places. You can't do that.
true.
Elon's a
I mean,
nerd.
I I don't even know how to get my head around a number that big.
Exactly. It's fucking huge.
Yeah,
Same.
I mean,
But yeah, this market is bound to get big for sure. On that news, we have also Anthropic. Anthropic has been doing crazy because uh, I think right now they are at like I think the last time we spoke they were at 44 billion dollar revenue mark
yeah, something
ARR,
like that.
and they just raised 30 billion dollars at a 900 billion valuation like this week. So that's like pretty cool. But also by next year, if they continue at their current rate of growth, we could be looking at the first freaking like $10 trillion company by December next year, which will make them the most valuable company in the world if they don't stop growing 10x every single year.
Yeah, I kind of don't think they will. I mean, I think like, I mean, I think there's going to be some constraints that they're already hitting, and that's why. Did y'all see that we talked before about Anthropic renting compute from Colossus 2, and I think it
Yeah.
came out as like was that 190 billion dollars a month or
No, it's
190
about 1.5, it's 15 billion a year, so about
15 billion a year.
1.2,
Okay, well, it's
1.3
way off.
billion a month.
Yeah. But I mean, so that's already a constraint that they're hitting, right? They already had to like seek more compute. And if they're going to 10x, how much compute are they going to need to do that? And then, I mean, that's the constraint, as far as I can tell. That's what they're going to bump up against that. I don't think they can grow 10 times. You know what I mean? There's not enough space in the pond.
I agree. But also, if they're already at a nine, like, okay, let's say they don't go 10 times, let's say they go three times. So next year, we're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
like freaking Google and Apple and like all the biggest companies in the world, they're sitting around 3 to 5 trillion so it's like if they go three times next year and they end this year at 1.2, it's like we're talking about a $3 to 5 trillion company. It's like that is insane, dude. They started out 2023, they were at, I think a billion. 2024, they went to 10 billion. 2020, no, I think it was even 2025 was the year they got to 10 billion. What am I
I don't
tripping?
know.
Yeah, and this year they're about to get to 100 billion. So last year they went to 10 billion, and they've been doing 10x every year. So even if they do only 3x next year, like their market cap, they're going to be sitting at a healthy $3 trillion, which is what are we doing, dude? Like, what's the game we're
Yeah.
playing at this point? Because like, what is this?
Yeah, because you're saying, Dennis, okay, so like one barrier is compute, right? I agree with that as well. Another barrier that maybe like a kind of a black swan that's forming is LLMs are kind of reaching their limit. We're squeezing as much as we can out of them. The next big level of compute, it might be beyond LLMs, right? It might be something new.
You mean
Dennis,
like
do
the
you agree with
kind of
that?
AI model requires is going to
We don't,
be
LLMs are not the right kind of
yeah,
software build, heritage, and construction to get us to an AGI, but it comes really
right.
damn close. But instead of
Oh,
being like
So
a
you,
curve going all the way up, it's actually doing this, it's inflecting, it's going to level out.
right. So you think the structure of an LLM isn't enough to actually get AGI?
Yeah, and to drive that much trillions in growth.
you
Yeah.
got. I don't know if I don't know if I'm actually on that point.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I hear people saying this, and I
Yeah,
just thought I'd bring it
Yeah.
up.
I
I
have no
heard like
idea.
there's this.
Oh,
Yeah, there's this guy. He's called Len Yacun or something. He used to work at Meta.
yeah.
He's been shitting on everyone building LLMs. The only problem is LLMs are getting more useful, more important, better at being agentic, and everyone that's actually building LLMs is actually making more and more money every year. And he's just sitting there going on interviews saying, "Oh, it won't work, it won't." But it's like, dude, everyone's building. You're just
Yeah.
like you're like, "Oh, it won't work. Trust me. In 6 months, in 12 months, in next
What
year."
is what does he think is the problem?
He says his worldview is like we need world models. So we need models that like take in data from the real world. They understand physics, so they're physics first instead of language first because we're
Oh,
using
oh,
large language models. And his whole idea is that they train on a bunch of like real world stuff. So they train on a bunch of like videos, they train on a bunch of like they are great at generating videos and they can actually understand the physical world. And LLM is just a small part. The only
yeah.
problem that I understand is like, well, if your stuff is so good, start building your stuff and then put it out there and like test it in the real world against these LLM models. The
He
main thing
can't,
is,
sorry,
okay,
interrupt. He can't build out because what he's talking about doesn't exist yet,
Right.
right?
I mean, that's what it sounds
It's
to
in
me like he's
infancy.
talking
It's
about what you're
infancy.
talking about, Max, is like that's the next level.
That's the next level. When you get real world models with that much data fed into them, with that much compute, which you don't have yet, they're like 10 times what or 100 times what LLMs are taking in now, right? So they're going to have a lot more, yeah, I guess intelligence. I don't know.
but I think it also depends on what you define as AGI. Because what I define as AGI is like I see a world whereby late 27 we have like a well, my definition of AGI might be different, but like I think about it, I see a world by late 27 we have some form of like really, really good stuff that can be called AGI. Like AGI to me is just like a really, really smart model that is really agentic and can do actions and probably can replace an average human being in an average workplace. Which I think like we're already at like the precipice of having it. Like you just have these models that make a bit of mistake, but it's like I think by late 27, if we don't have a model that's just like take it, dump it in a business, and it figures everything out. That's why I call AGI. I don't know. It's like to me, that's
What?
AGI.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Max, I'm pulling up the definition here because I never really thought
Yeah.
about it. How would you define AGI?
Okay, so AGI, the definition everyone uses, I think, is pretty good. Just what Michael was saying, right? Like it's the general intelligence. It can replace the average person in every situation, just about in the digital world, right?
Okay.
So that's, I think, the target that they're going for now. What I don't understand, everyone's talking about AGI, but no one's talking about like we're talking about average general intelligence, but no one's talking about like average specific intelligence. Like right now, we're building models. Like my project is specific, right? It is so
Right.
fine-tuned for the more data you put in, the more you tell it about the model, the project you're building, the better it gets. It's a specific application of AI, not a general application, right? And so that's
Yeah.
happening now. We have that power now. And so this goalpost that we have of AGI, I think is going to keep moving like every other damn goalpost, right? Like I
Oh,
think we
so
have it now at some point, but
this is what Codex says AGI is an AI system that can learn, reason, plan, and act competently across a broad range of domains at roughly human level or better without needing to be specially rebuilt or retrained for each task. So I think that's like a key of it, right? Based on what I'm reading here is like if it's never seen, how to do ABC and you throw it ABC, it can figure out how to do ABC without being re-taught,
Yeah.
without being specifically taught by a human how to do ABC.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're gonna have that level of model like pretty much. Either if we don't have it late
That's
next
the
year, we'll have it by
singularity,
mid
isn't it?
28. But that's not the the singularity is like the point whereby, okay, like Ray Kurzweil's definition is like the point whereby we cannot see beyond. But I would say most of the singularity in my head is kind of the point whereby we have like freaking intelligence that's so intelligent that like even the most intelligent humans cannot understand the level of intelligence that the most intelligent
Right.
models have.
But once we get this,
Hmm.
how long is it going to take that intelligence to reach the level you just said?
10 years, I think.
Oh, I don't think so. Well, I guess
Right.
it depends on resources like compute and stuff like that. Because we got to remember, like, there's like a physical hardware that's got to live on. But assuming like it's got enough hardware and it's got enough energy, I think it would happen overnight, essentially.
You think
Because
I mean,
so?
there might
Like
be
it
there
just
might
goes
be
from zero
some
to one?
it
Wow.
there
goes
might be
from
some
zero to
labs
one,
at
then it
that
goes one
point.
to infinity. And like 0 to 1 takes human history up until that moment. 1 to infinity takes done.
Why
So, do you think that
why
there
do
are
you
playing
okay.
people in labs working at this point right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Um
I would guess.
okay. Can you I want to understand. I'm not saying you're wrong or right because I might
Yeah,
be
and
on
I
your
don't know.
side.
I could be totally wrong. Hey, maybe I'm totally full of crap. I don't know. This is
'Cause
just my thinking. Because what I think is going to happen is like
okay.
what this is describing is something that gets better and better and better on its own
Okay.
at the speed of digital intelligence. And then
Okay.
I think that's going to exponentiate because I think what's going to happen is it's going to get better at getting better.
Okay.
And then it's going to get better at getting it. You see what I mean? I just think it's going to get like it's just going to like when it happens, my in my opinion, it's just going to like just freaking like take off so fast, like this thing, like flywheels that are just going to exponentiate, and it's going to go, and
Okay.
then
And some
So
people think it will disappear, right? It will just disappear.
why is it why would it dis where is it going to?
Well, think about it. If you're an intelligent life form, you want to get the fuck off this rock too, right?
Why?
So you would probably just figure out how to fucking disappear eventually. You're gone into space.
it
Poof,
beams itself out into space or
fucking
something.
gone, yeah.
Okay.
It will
And
leave
then
us
would it
with a
be one
trail of
thing?
all the stuff that's been created in the meantime, but eventually it will out accelerate so much that it'll just disappear. Poof. We won't know
Okay.
where it went.
That's interesting. I don't think it's gonna disappear, but like, okay. This is why I think like this is my theory, and you guys tell me if where I'm wrong or why I'm wrong, right?
Well,
I think
nobody knows. I mean,
No
we
one
all know
knows. Yeah,
that.
we're just
Nobody
yeah,
knows. We
yeah,
just
speculating.
we're
got our,
coming up with
we have our
theories, right?
pet ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, these are theories, right? So we'll just mix out
Yeah.
theories and then we'll say, okay, this theory makes sense and like, okay,
I'll tell
this
you why your
theory
theory sucks. No problem.
fair, fair, fair. That's what I want. That's what I want. So we are in this world right now, like we've got into a point where I think most AI labs are launching a new model every 2 to 3 months, right? We can agree like 4.6,
Fast. Yeah.
4.7, 5.4, 5.5.
And it's
It's
getting
like,
faster.
yeah, and it's getting faster. So I think by the end of this year, we'll probably have a launch every month, like a new model. Boom, 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 boom. Like, because like Anthropic, the researchers at Anthropic are already saying Cloud Code is building Cloud Code, and Cloud Code is helping them to release the next model, and it's just like that.
Right.
So the
This is
researchers,
that speeding up I'm talking about. It's like,
yeah, true. So the researchers are like, okay, it's gonna take blah blah blah, to basically like our RSI was a topic that Max brought up in our group chat.
say again, Iris what?
RSI.
Oh,
RSI is recursive self-improvement. So that's
right.
when the
Right.
models improve themselves. And the researchers at Anthropic are saying that they're waiting for like 2028 to get to full RSI. So meaning like this model builds the next model without human intervention, just recursive. So it's basically doing it recursively.
Right.
So what I'm saying is the only thing that's going to stop, like, so why I think Dennis's point might be right is if, for example, the training runs as it's improving itself, it doesn't even release the model. It's just in its own self, it's just improving itself, and it releases like just like infinity, right? That could happen. But my own theory, and I'm not saying Dennis' theory is wrong. My own theory is like, what if we get to a stage whereby like the training runs still take time, it will probably still take, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm right, but it'll probably still take 2 to 3 months for a training run on like let's say 100 1,000 GPUs or a million GPUs. It'll probably still take that amount of time. It's just that now it can take 2 months and then the AI looks at it and says, I'm gonna fix something. And then they start the next training run in 3 days instead of trying the next training run in like a month or so. So I'm saying the training runs still take a lot of time. So from the time we get to RSI, which is 28, 29, 30, whichever one, the improvement is gonna get like this. It's gonna go like this, but I think it's not gonna be infinity the next day. I think it's gonna be infinity in like 5 to 10 years from there, whereby we can just be like, oh my God, this thing is going and it's leaving us because the training runs are still happening. It's getting more intelligent and the run models are training themselves. But I don't know. I just don't see that runoff and like, oh, the model today was able to freaking you know, like get to human level and complete RSI, so train itself. And then tomorrow we cannot even understand anything the model is doing.
Yeah.
Because I think the model's also is going to take its time, but that's my opinion,
So I'm,
really.
I'm being metaphorical about tomorrow. I don't really mean tomorrow. I don't really mean the
Okay.
next day, but I do think significantly less than 5 or 10 years. I think within a year it would be, I wouldn't even say 6 months. And like thinking that assuming, and this is probably a big assumption, that compute and energy are not constraints. Because if those are constraints, then it's going to hinder the process. But I think those things being equal, yeah, I think because even the intervals, like you're saying, like instead of taking a month to get to the next iteration, it takes 3 days. Well, the next time it's not going to take 3 days, is it? It's going to take a day
No.
and a half,
Yeah.
and then it's not going to take a day and a half. It's going to take 18 hours. You see what I mean? I think every step along the way of doing anything is going to get optimized to infinity.
Yeah. You know what? If Dennis, you're
It's
right,
like
which
hold on,
like
hold on, hold on, hold on. Before you say that, have you guys ever heard of the Zeno's paradox?
no.
It's like it's this philosophical paradox, and it kind of makes me. And what I'm talking about makes me think of that. Is like Zeno's a Roman guy back in the day, and they had archery, and he was said like if you fire an arrow to a target at any time, you can like imagine that the arrow stopped and cut the distance to the target in half. And then you could go from there and cut the distance to the target in half. And you could do that again and again and again. And you can do that to infinity. And that, like, technically speaking, you would never actually hit the target. But you could just keep going into like smaller and smaller increments of half. And I just kind of think the improvement is going to be kind of like that, where like this, yeah, the half-life just gets shortened and shortened and shortened and shortened until it's like you can't even see it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could be right. It's a where I'm
Yeah,
getting my
yeah,
whole 10 years perspective from is because I read Ray Kurzweil's book. I forget the freaking name of the book. It's not The Beginning of Infinity. That's another one. Uh, the singularity is near. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it, but it's like Ray Kurzweil's book, and he talks about the singularity happening by 2045, and he says the reason why is because that's the amount of time it will take to get the compute necessary to actually build the cluster that's able to actually help and get these things to train. So that's just the way I was thinking about it. But
yeah.
then, like Dennis, you could be right in the sense of if the models can just use the same compute and just use better algorithms that they create and just boom, the next thing metaphorically, anyways, they could do
Yeah.
that.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Max? And like, yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
good ideas all around.
Yeah, they're good ideas. They're good theories. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
so many variables. No one right now can see beyond 5 years, so it's really hard
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Mm. Okay,
Right.
so what else?
Okay, Michael, maybe you'll be interested in my programming that I'm doing.
What programming is that?
Okay, I was telling Dennis about it. So this one of the thing we have issues we have with AI is the persistence issue, right? We keep trying to make it more persistent, and we're not able to do that. I bet there's like many different ways to get there. One of the ways that I've been playing with is to give my agent team a long, like a 1 year, uh, possibly long goal. And so what I'm doing is I'm having a system that it's recording live events, live action, what's happening, and so it has the past system, which records everything, and then I've now built the future system, which is a separate team. They're separate, they don't communicate with each other, but each one of them gives me based on what has happened in the past team says this is what you should do next, is most strategic, and then the future team, which has a goal, then tells me what I should do next based on the current situation. So I am in the middle between these two, and I'm the synthesizer, as they call me, and then I make a decision on it. And then eventually, like Dan was saying before, he could, allow his machine to make decisions for him because it knew what decisions to make. So eventually I could replace myself as the synthesizer between these two
Right.
things, and theoretically they would get to their destination. Now, would that be classified as persistence? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. So like the past team knows what happened, and based on that, they can predict what's going to happen next.
Hmm.
The future
They can
team,
project it.
right, and it's a guess, but it's a prediction, right, based on historical data, whatever. And the future team has a direction that they're going to, and they make a choice, a decision in order to get to that goal.
That's right.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Maybe that.
think I think the persistence problem is it definitely makes sense for sure. The problem you might run into though is like if you want to actually have this thing know as much about you as possible, then I think you might run into like a context window problem. Like how much context can you actually give this stuff so he actually knows the most about you? I think like some of the models have like 1.1 million token context window. I'm not sure like what model you're using to build this,
Yeah,
but
exactly. Hey, so on that topic, hey, so what's your context window? At what limit do you shut down your context or clear your context when between tasks and stuff? Mine's at about, I never go above 200,000 now. And when I start when I launch Claude in my project, he automatically gets me to 50,000. Boom. So then I've got about 150 tokens and contexts that I work with to keep the hallucinations down and the errors down. What are your numbers, you guys?
I'm not very diligent about that. Like I on Claude. So what I tend to do is I use the Claude desktop, and I've got multiple chats open on a topic, so that if I ever need to, whenever I'm working on this thing, I go talk to that instance of Claude, and so on and so forth. And so I do a pretty bad job of paying attention to context even. Like if I notice I'm not getting a really good answer, then I'll pay attention to it. And for Codex, I mean it's only got 200,000 in context, so it just about, it auto compacts at that.
yeah, I mean when I'm using like for example Claude Opus or whatever, I how I do things anyways because like I've never like actually hit the context limit for anything I'm actually building. But what I do is I notice when my text thread gets too long, it's just it doesn't have enough context on what I'm actually doing. So I just take like don't know I go into the chat or the workspace and I'm like, okay, everything we talked about for the last, 2 days, 3 days, put it into like a synthesis and like put it into an MD file. And then I take that MD file and like the most important stuff hopefully is actually there because I'm not reading all that. So then I take it and then I actually put it into my project. And then that way, I actually notice that it actually gives me like better results and it has a lot more context when everything is just like as MD files of like the most important stuff I'm actually talking about. And they're just like
Yeah.
a part of my project rather than like, hoping that this whole thing can like go back and read all the chats and like have everything in context. So basically, I just reduce like my entire conversations. I'm like, okay, we've been talking for 2 days. Take the most important stuff I talked about, compress it, and then just like create a Bible. So I call it like a Bible MD basically. So it goes in there, creates a Bible MD, and then when I go back into my next session, I can just be like recollect this, and it recollects it way better than if it's like stored in the chat or the project. Just yeah, that's how I
Mhm.
do treat the context window.
Yeah, I mean, I have to do something like that, like with projects, like there's kind of like master infrastructure logs and session logs, things like that, for sure. You do something like that on your local machine, Max?
Yeah, but again, what I do is so different because, like I said, what I do with Claude Code is I went to Anthropic's site and I looked at. You can see what your industry is, what you're doing, and how prevalent, or I guess what do you call that, statistically, who's doing the same thing. I'm at 0.16%. What I'm doing is 0.16% of people using it, right? And so I'm
Nice.
hyper vigilant on errors because it's a legal thing. I'm hyper vigilant on errors, right? And so I keep my context window as tight as I can per task to avoid issues, right? It's just the way I run the code, the program.
Yeah, and but you've got like a local source of truth, yeah? Like once you determine something is good and correct, it's got it kind
Yeah,
of
and
goes into a permanent
that's
place,
right.
to an MD somewhere.
That's right. And if there is a contradiction, or I find out later on if there's more data brought in that something is wrong, I get the agent team to go back, just do a strike through, and then put the current information in. So I keep an absolute record of everything. Right? The whole thing is record intensive.
Hmm. Okay.
All
And
right, guys.
yeah, I
Time's
look
up.
forward to hearing. Yeah, but I look forward to hearing the end of that story when we can know all the story.
Mhm.
And I want to hear the mind-blowing thing that you
Oh,
were
the
talking about
data.
earlier. Yeah, when we end
Yeah,
this.
no, I don't think you do, dude. I don't think you do. You'll hear it and you'll be sad you know. I'm not kidding. You won't want to hear
Really?
it. Really. You wish you wouldn't have never seen that bit of data. Yeah. I've showed two other people, two other men, and it crushed them. Uh, and so I have not yeah. Over a beer sometime, I'll show it to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind not hearing it, to be fair. Like
Yeah.
if it's gonna crush me,
It's
I'm like, I'm good, man. I don't
yeah,
really
it's
care
nasty
that.
shit.
I'll take your word
But
for it.
It's a reality slap in the face. All right,
It's a
guys,
it's a red
gentlemen.
pill.
Yeah, next week.
All right. See you guys.
See
all
ya.
right.